to us for assistance. More than 850,000 meals and food parcels have been offered to those who are struggling with food insecurity. Over 108,000 homelessness prevention hotline calls have been answered. Over 22,000 people have received mental health services, and $2 million in financial assistance has been provided to keep people housed. If you or someone you know needs assistance, email us at gethelp@catholiccharities.net. That's gethelp@catholiccharities.net. Or call 312-655-7700. That's 312-655-7700. Before, during, and after COVID-19, Catholic Charities is here for you.
The cemetery ministry is a core ministry of our Catholic faith tied to the corporal works of mercy. It's comforting to know that our Catholic cemeteries are caring for the remains of our loved ones awaiting the resurrection. There are 44 Archdiocese of Chicago Catholic cemeteries willing to help you in your time of loss. Call 708-449-6100 or visit CatholicCemeteriesChicago.org. Catholic Cemeteries, serving the Catholic community since 1837.
Catholic Charities Schreiber Center for Human Services is now open in Round Lake. Due to the pandemic, we are limited in the number of in-person programs that we currently can provide. However, a food pantry is open twice a week, and a Wednesday night supper is held with to-go meals every week. A wide range of senior services are now offered as well. If we can assist you or someone you know, please call us at 847-546-5733. That's 847-546-5733. Before, during, and after COVID-19, Catholic Charities is here for you.
You're listening to Catholic Chicago on WNDZ 750 AM. Every Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., the Archdiocese of Chicago presents programming about the people, events, and issues that touch our lives. Thanks for letting us be part of your morning. Now again, Catholic Chicago.
Good morning, and welcome to the Voice of Charity. I'm Katie Bredemann, and we thank you for joining us today. As a reminder, the Voice of Charity airs on WNDZ 750 AM here in Chicago, and a live stream is on YouTube and Facebook at Catholic Chicago. Today's show is about one of the many ways that Catholic Charities is fighting hunger in Chicago. Since Catholic Charities was founded in 1917, one of the largest and most urgent service areas for the agency has been fighting hunger. It's a year-round problem that affects hundreds of thousands of people in our city and suburbs. According to Feeding America, 1 in 7 people in Cook County will experience food insecurity this year, and many of them do not qualify for federal nutrition assistance programs. Catholic Charities has a comprehensive plan to fight hunger in Cook and Lake counties, including congregate meals, food pantries, and a carefully organized distribution of fresh food to our service sites. Our Tuesday night supper program at 721 North LaSalle Street is a very popular congregate meal site, and it has been amazing to see how hot meals have continued to be distributed from this location every Tuesday throughout each week of the pandemic. With me to discuss this remarkable feat are Emily Lewis, Catholic Charities Volunteer Relations Project Manager, and Peggy White, a generous and devoted Tuesday night supper volunteer. Welcome, Emily and Peggy.
Thank you for having us today.
So glad that you're here. Thank you. Emily, can you share with our audience how long the Tuesday Night Supper program has been operating out of 721 North LaSalle Street, offering a hot meal to 130 guests in our St. Vincent Hall each Tuesday?
Yeah, so we have been providing a Tuesday night meal since 2001. And we have partnerships with Holy Name Cathedral, Chicago Help Initiative, and Fourth Presbyterian Church. And so each night of the week, there's actually a meal served to the guests that come. And yeah, we've been doing that in a to-go style since the pandemic began. So
that must have been quite a quick transition to go from planning the distribution, the preparation and the distribution of the meals, and then switching immediately to to-go. I'm sure it was a couple stressful days figuring that all out.
Yeah, I'd say the first few weeks, it was a lot of thinking on our toes, but we've been really fortunate to have a really solid group of people who come every week, and we've just found a routine that works really well, and we're still able to serve the guests that come each week. So it's been really phenomenal to see that.
And so is the average still about 130 meals a week that you're distributing on a to-go basis?
It is, yes. So I think each night kind of varies in what they distribute, but around 130 to 150 is what we anticipate, with a little room for extra there. So yeah, no, 130 though is about the average.
And so I'm just trying to calculate in my head, since March of 2020, do you have a rough idea of how many meals that's been since that you've distributed on a to-go basis since the pandemic started?
I think we're looking at about 9,000, a little over. So it's at least for Tuesday nights. So including the other nights, it's a lot more, but it's been quite a few.
That's really quite remarkable, Emily. I should mention that as you look at these live stream photos, a number of them were taken pre-COVID. And so that's why you see some of them, some of our volunteers and staff members are wearing masks and some aren't. But Emily, can you kind of share with the audience what a typical meal is and how long it takes to prepare and package those meals?
Yeah, so each week it kind of varies, but we do have a basis of we're looking for a protein, a starch, and a vegetable of sorts. And we are very fortunate to have partner restaurants that come in to provide that meal. So it's really up to them and the cuisine that they serve at their establishment. But, you know, a typical meal could be like spaghetti and meatballs with a side salad. We've gotten a lot of stir fries. Some nights there's pizza. So it really depends on what, you know, we are receiving. But I have to say everything we've received, it's just very unique and enjoyable, and it's different each week, which I think the guests enjoy.
And so in terms of that food preparation and planning ahead, what have been the greatest challenges during the pandemic?
Yeah, I think when we first kind of operated in this to-go format, it was just the communication piece with partners. Everyone clearly was communicating, but just, you know, recognizing that a lot of the restaurants that had been donating to us were also suffering in the pandemic. And so having to, you know, navigate that and see how we could also provide aid to them and keep their, you know, business afloat while they still partnered with us. I think that was a challenge that we were able to, you know, meet and work with. But that was, yeah, there's been a lot of moments up in the air where we're kind of scrambling to figure out what to do for the meal, but it's always, you know, worked out, and we've never really had an issue in the past year and a half.
And those restaurant partners, we can't thank enough. Oftentimes, they're giving us their abundance of food to make sure that we have a hot meal to distribute. Would you like to give a shout out to some of those restaurant partners so we can publicly thank them for their support of Catholic Charities?
Yeah. So we, I'll just go through the list, but we have Bluestone, which is in Evanston, and then some local chains, including Hutch Bistro. And they also partner with an organization called Fight to Feed, which focuses on food rescue and distributing to the community. We also have Sabaro, the Carrymen, and I think I have covered the bases on that. But no, we have so many different partners that have just jumped in when we need help, and it's been incredible.
And I know that the volunteer component of this has been another thing for you to coordinate, because on an average Tuesday pre-COVID, there were dozens of volunteers who would help, but you had to change some protocols to make sure that everything was done in the most safe way possible. Can you share a little bit about how that worked?
Yeah, we've had such a solid group of volunteers through the pandemic. Unfortunately, we did have to limit, who was able to come in just based on what numbers were allowed. And really, I'd say each week we have about between 6 to 10 different volunteers coming in on a biweekly rotation. And they've been with us since March of 2020. And Peggy, who's here with us, is one of those wonderful volunteers that they are such a good team. I think each week there's not a competition, but every week it gets faster and faster, and everyone just knows what they're doing, and they have just adapted so well to the changes that we've had to make, and also they're there for the clients that are needing the services. So it's been really cool to work with this group of volunteers.
And Peggy, we'd really like to hear your perspective on that. If you'll bear with us, we're going to take a quick break here on The Voice of Charity. And when we come back, we'd love to hear Peggy's perspective on being a volunteer with the Tuesday night program. Please stay tuned.
Caring adults make all the difference in the lives of adolescents. Catholic Charities understands this, and our mentorship program provides a free opportunity for youth living in Lake County to spend time, virtually, with volunteers who genuinely care about them. This program is ideal for youths age 9 to 12 who may need support navigating the challenges of childhood and early adolescence. Our amazing volunteers serve as friends and role models who help youth recognize their strengths and empower them to reach their full potential. Catholic Charities conducts a thorough background check on every volunteer, and our program coordinator closely monitors and supports each relationship. Mentoring is a fun after-school program that is totally different from remote learning. Virtual group sessions help youth enjoy fun activities with their peers, too. We're connecting youth with great role models. Join us today. To learn more, call 312-937-3375. That's 312-937-3375.
The Word Made Clear is exactly what its name implies. It's an easy-to-understand explanation of the Word of God, the Gospel. Hello, I'm Father James McElhone, Director of Biblical Formation for the Archdiocese of Chicago. I'd like to invite you to take our free online Bible study program by going to thewordmadeclear.org. Our website offers an audio-based guide to the Gospels of Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John. Listen to my lectures and follow along with the handouts provided. There are even discussion guides. You can also explore the biblical roots of the Mass. And there are links to a wide variety of biblical sources that will benefit both teachers and students of the sacred scriptures. Just go to wordmadeclear.org to experience our free online Bible study program. Again, it's free at wordmadeclear.org. It's the Word of God. Enjoy.
Welcome back to the Voice of Charity. I'm Katie Bredemann, and today we're talking about Catholic Charities Tuesday Night Suppers, one of the many ways that Catholic Charities is fighting hunger in Chicago. Before our break, we were just speaking about how volunteers have been such a crucial component of keeping the Tuesday night suppers going during the pandemic. And I'm pleased today to be with Peggy White, who has been one of those devoted volunteers. Peggy, can I ask you to please share with us how long you've been volunteering with the Tuesday night supper program?
Yes, I started a couple years ago.
And how did you fit this into your schedule? Because I know that we were all thrown a curveball a bit with our schedules once COVID hit. How were you able to work volunteering into everything else that you were doing in your life?
Well, when I initially got started a few years ago, I just started to protect my schedule on Tuesday afternoons, and my family, friends, colleagues know where to find me, or where I usually, where I am on Tuesdays. So I've just been able to sort of protect that time because it's an important part of my day and my week.
We're so grateful at Catholic Charities for your dedication. Can I ask you what brings you to this role, and what keeps bringing you back every Tuesday?
Sure. I've always really had a strong volunteer component from family background, certainly from a religious background. And I think the team that Emily and her crew have assembled makes it a really enjoyable experience. And it really, it's a very hands-on experience, and the interaction certainly with the volunteers, but also with the clients is really what keeps me coming back.
And can I ask both of you about that? Maybe Emily, you first. What are the most urgent concerns that our clients are expressing when they come to pick up a meal at the Tuesday night supper?
Yeah, I think it's a generalized look at it, but just the need for stability, with providing a meal, it creates a routine and expectation, and it brings people back for the services that Catholic Charities provides. And, a lot of the needs of the clients do range from, housing needs to counseling to, the vast majority of the programs that Catholic Charities serves, it's for a lot of the guests that we do see coming through the doors for the suppers. And with that stability, though, and through the pandemic, I think it's showing that Catholic Charities, is here and present with the clients through their experiences. And I think it's been really cool to see how a lot of the guests have, grown and come to the services that we have, but also they have, graduated from that and are able to stabilize their life on their own with the skills and the time that they've put into things. So it's been, there's a lot of need that we do see, but we also see a lot of growth in a lot of joy and a lot of really exciting things happening in the lives of everyone that comes through.
I'm sure they're just so grateful, too, that the Tuesday night supper program has continued, and that our other dinner partners have continued their contributions so that folks can just continue to get a hot meal every weeknight at 721 North LaSalle. Peggy, did you have any other further input that you've seen from clients sharing their concerns with you?
Yeah, that's a great question. And Emily alluded to it a little bit. I think the shower program has been so instrumental in terms of such a noticeable difference in some of the clients. And I'm fortunate enough to run into clients in the neighborhood outside of Tuesday night experience. And, Emily, I think I sent you an email that I ran into Ed the other day. And it's just seeing the impact that these clients get from coming in and having a regular shower on a weekly basis, in addition to the Tuesday night supper, has really been an amazing transformation.
And I should also mention that any clients who come requesting other services like the ones Emily mentioned, housing, rental assistance, that of course continues as well through our referral connection to all Catholic Charities agency departments. And so we would like to also mention that part of the spring's Tuesday night supper was vaccinating clients. And so we're going to take another break here on The Voice of Charity, but we would love to hear from you about how that occurred and how many clients were able to get vaccinated at 7:21. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
The 27th Annual Catholic Charities Golf Classic will take place on July 19th, and you are cordially invited to attend. Gather your friends and work colleagues for this fabulous event that will take place on two beautiful golf courses, Shore Acres in Lake Bluff and Knollwood Club in Lake Forest. Proceeds will benefit Catholic Charities programs and services in Lake County. All state and CDC guidelines will be followed, and registrations are filling up quickly. Call 847-814-3839 today. That's 847-814-3839. Thank you on behalf of everyone we serve in Lake County.
Hey, it's Timothy Johnston here from Liturgy Training Publications. Over the past few months, I'm sure you've found yourself at home more, whether it's working from home or watching live stream masses on Sunday mornings. As we began adjusting to this at the beginning of the pandemic, one of the things I missed the most was gathering with friends at the parish. That's why we at LTP have created this new virtual gathering series called Living the Sunday Word. We meet virtually on Thursday evenings each week and reflect on the upcoming Sunday readings. And with that, we share stories to help us more fully reflect on the Word of God. I'm inviting each of you to join us, a group of friends meeting virtually from all parts of the country. So visit ltp.org for more information and to register. You won't want to miss this.
Welcome back to The Voice of Charity. I'm Katie Bredemann, and I'm so pleased to be with today Emily Lewis, who is Catholic Charities Volunteer Relations Project Manager in charge of the Tuesday Night Suppers at 721 North LaSalle, and also Peggy White, who has been a devoted volunteer to this program. Again, thank you so much for being here. As before the break, we were talking about from March until May of this year, the Tuesday Night Suppers provided an opportunity for clients to receive COVID-19 vaccinations when they came to pick up their hot meals. Emily, can you share with us how that worked and how many clients were able to receive vaccinations and who helped facilitate the shots?
Yeah, we had a partnership with Heartland Alliance, and I remember back in the winter just kind of reaching out to community partners, seeing what was available for clients that we may share, and they were so willing instantly to come over and provide vaccinations. So we hosted, I think in total, 3 events at 721 North LaSalle, and 132 people left fully vaccinated through those. Which is amazing. And when you look at the numbers of the number of people we serve for the meals, that average is a little over that. So it's really encouraging to know that we do have a lot of our guests, they had the opportunity to get the vaccination if they chose to. And then in total, Catholic Charities hosted about 77 events and vaccinated over 9,000 people fully through those events. So the past few months have been a bit wild with the vaccinations, but it's been a really positive and encouraging energy we've seen. We were really lucky to have had that resource with Heartland Alliance.
And I know that those vaccination events still continue this summer. It's not like it's concluded. So we're still here, and if anybody wants to be learning about the next event, they can call Catholic Charities 312-655-7700 and ask about vaccination events, and we're happy to share, the information that we have to give. And so was each client able to get their own vaccination card then, so they can walk away with that and present it wherever they go?
Yes, yeah, they had a vaccination card, and Heartland Alliance also provided a variety of other services, such as, just the education piece of what goes through with a vaccine and what exactly they should expect, and also, addressing other health concerns people may walk in the door with. They were really willing to sit down with the client and share what they do and what the vaccine will do for them in their future. So it was really, awesome services.
Boy, that's really wonderful. Hunger is such an incredibly difficult burden for our clients to endure. Are there any client stories that stand out in your mind that have reminded you about the importance of this work of making sure that these clients receive hot meals? Peggy, I'll start with you.
Katie, I just want to go back to what Emily was talking about with the vaccines, because it was so emotional. Being there as a volunteer and seeing clients that you hadn't seen in a while because of the in-person dynamic having shifted to more of a carry-out. So it was so rewarding and really just a very emotional experience for those of us that were there to see the clients coming through and the impact that it would have on them.
Boy, that must have been really
a collective.
Pardon me?
More of a collective, reaction versus an individual.
It actually was probably quite touching to see the joy that they had knowing that they were, secure and vaccinated against COVID-19. And then just, that's one of the client stories that I was just referring to. But are there any in general of clients who have just, expressed to you how much this meal means to them? I'm just so respectful that hunger is just a really, really tough burden for anyone to carry. And I just wonder if you could share with our audience any stories that you have called to mind about clients who are especially grateful that maybe they hadn't had a meal in a day or two or even, several days, and what this program means to them. Emily?
Yeah, I have, I'm just thinking of a few different people in mind, but not to just share names, but there was, I feel like a lot of the people that I'm thinking of have had a transformation since my time starting with the Tuesday Night Suppers about almost 3 years ago. And so I think, watching them enter, trying to find stability, whether that was with a job or housing, and, around the time of the pandemic beginning and even through the pandemic, finding out that they did find jobs or they did find housing. And they still, are welcome back to Catholic Charities for the services we have. And they have built such a strong community here. So knowing that they are not only coming just because of the needs they have, but also the family they've built here, and the encouragement they bring to their friends and family. It's just it's a beautiful thing to see that transformation.
And Peggy, how about you?
I would say one of sort of the most heartbreaking, but also the rewarding, is when you see parents come in with children at the Tuesday Night Suppers, and to see the impact that sitting at a table, having a hot meal, the families being together, it's very moving, and it can be a little tough. When some of these kids are pretty young, and the services that Catholic Charities offers, that they're when they leave after having the meal, they're not, they've got a support mechanism that extends beyond the building of LaSalle Street. So it's, as Emily said, it truly is a family, and the clients are so incredibly grateful, which is really one of the reasons why it keeps you coming back.
And we'll be delighted to announce when those in-person meals have resumed. For now, if anyone in our audience would like to donate to the suppers or become a restaurant partner or a volunteer, Emily, what's the best way for them to contact us?
Yeah, I think, looking online, I see volunteer at CatholicCharities.net, that email, emailing us directly is the best way to get a hold of us. You can also call my number, which I can share with you now, but just contacting me and my coworker Andrew. We, are always happy to share more about the Tuesday Night Supper program and how you can get involved with that. Just reaching out to us directly.
Great. So Emily's email is elewis@CatholicCharities.net. Again, elewis@CatholicCharities.net. And her phone is 312-655-7053. Emily and Peggy, we're so impressed with how much you and your colleagues accomplished during the pandemic. And I honestly just think you're going to be long remembered at Catholic Charities after the pandemic's long and gone for how you helped fight hunger in Chicago at 721. We thank you so much for being on the show today, and we're delighted to have this opportunity to commend you and your entire Tuesday night team for all you've accomplished together. We invite everyone back again next week for another edition of The Voice of Charity. For now, this is Katie Bredemann, wishing you all a happy and healthy week from everyone at Catholic Charities.
Join us every Monday through Friday at this time for Catholic Chicago. You can stream our programs live or listen to past programs by visiting our website, archchicago.org, and clicking on Radio TV. And please connect with Catholic Chicago on social media.